Today I'm going to go ahead and start building this Ryzen 9 3950X for a buddy of mine who does 3D rendering of videos. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this started. So here we've got a Ryzen 9 3950X. This thing has 16 cores and 32 threads. It's 4.7 gigahertz for the max boost speed and 3.5 gigahertz for a base clock speed. So we've got the processor, a couple of pamphlets, and a whole bunch of foam. Wow. Up next, we've got the ASUS Prime X570P. Got some of the cables that came with it. Here's the I/O shield. A couple of screws for the NVMe drives. Some pamphlets, and of course the manual, and it feels like there is a CD inside of here. But who needs that? You need to get the latest drivers anyways offline, because it's probably 6 months to a year old already. Alright, 20% off cable mod cables. Nice. So next, I've got the Sabrent Rocket NVMe 4.0, and this is a Gen 4 NVMe SSD. This thing is wicked fast. That's some nice premium packaging. Got the manual. Looks like it's just a little cover for it. And here we go. Here's the SSD. So let's get this installed. Alright, so you can see here, this slot supports up to the 2280, and then the second slot here supports up to the 22110. So I'm going to go ahead and take this nut and just screw that in. And now I'm going to go ahead and take the drive, place it right in, and then you just apply just enough pressure to bring it down. Now I'm going to go ahead and start the screw by hand, and then go ahead and tighten it with a screwdriver. Now, since it's easy to be able to lose this nut and screw, I'm going to go ahead and install it on the board as well. I'm going to put it in the same position for the 2280 just because the 22110s are not too popular yet, and you can always move it. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and install the processor, and you can see here there's like a tiny little triangle over in the corner, and that indicates and matches up with the triangle over in this corner. And then also, if you were to turn it upside down, you can see the golden triangle a lot easier here, and you can see that it is basically like a square cutout, while the others are diagonal on the other three sides. So here we're going to go ahead and lift out this bar and lift it up. and that is for, this is called a ZIF socket, or zero insertion force. So I'm not going to apply any pressure. All I do is just put it right there. See, there's no pressure, it just drops right in, and that's how you know that it's in there. And then go ahead and pull down the bar, and it clips over, and that's it. Next, I'm going to go ahead and get some thermal paste. Before we go ahead and put thermal paste on the processor, I need to go ahead and open this up. It is the Be Quiet Dark Rock Pro 4. Now this supports processors up to 250 watts TDP, and this thing is just a beast. Alright, we got our manuals and all of the mounting hardware. Oh jeez, this thing's heavy. This thing is a absolute monster. Of course it's going to be quiet because look how gigantic that fan is. I mean, that thing is freaking huge. But it'll be able to handle the heat of this processor or anything beefier as well. Got the second fan here and really long screwdriver. Nice. So if you take a look here, zoom in for you. So you can see the asterisks over by the A2 and B2 slots, which appear to be the lighter colored ones on the board. So these are the ones that you actually want to put the memory in if you only have 2 sticks of RAM. And if you only had a single stick, then you would only want to put it in DIMM slot A2. So here I'm going to install the memory on this motherboard. Now the memory only fits in one direction in the DIMM slots. Also, you can see here, I am pressing these down to be able to insert them. Now, when handling memory, be sure to not touch any of the contacts that are on them, because the oils in your hands, or if you have anything on your hands that could be transferred to the memory, that could affect the connection to the motherboard. And then you'll see that that just clips right in. Now the memory is installed. So we're going to take the mounting hardware that says AMD and go ahead and pull that out. Alright, so here I'm going to go ahead and remove the stock mounting brackets. And I'm going to go ahead and open up this bag here. So I'm going to take these 4 washers and put them on the back plate where we just took the screws out of. Now we're going to take these and put them on top of that. And these only fit one way. So if you had it upside down, it actually won't stay on top of the mount. So now we're going to take these here and install them on each side. And now for the other one. And you can see right on here it actually says AM4 right on the outside. Alright, so here I've got 90% isopropyl alcohol. You can see right here. And just to make sure that there's absolutely no oils from my hands on the processor, I'm going to go ahead and clean it again. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply the thermal paste. And the way that they applied it using the official Be Quiet video is actually in a cross direction. And I really don't think that's actually enough thermal paste on that guy. Let me go get some more. Now since the paste that came with it was not nearly as much as what they actually showed. I'm going to go ahead and just wipe it off and clean it up. And luckily, I have my own thermal paste. Got some nice Antec Formula 7 Nano Diamond thermal compound. And I'm just going to do about the size of a pea right in the middle. Now here on the heatsink, I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Remove this other one. And that is for using the screwdriver to actually mount it down onto the processor. And then here you can see there's actually some protective tape that you got to go ahead and peel off first. So we'll go ahead and peel that off. Now we can mount it. So now we're going to go ahead and take this bar and the two screws and put that through on the inside. And now we can go ahead and put these back on. And now we'll put the fans back in. Now to unbox this beast. Got the installation guide. And a card that costs more than a single month's car payment on a high-end Porsche or Tesla. Let's go ahead and crack it open. There it is. Now before I start mounting this inside the case, I just want to double verify that there is enough room for this to be mounted. Yep, just barely fits. And if this card isn't insane enough for you, as it is, you can take two of them and connect them together. That is crazy. The power supply showed up, which is one of the last pieces that I needed to start this build. So let's go ahead and unbox this. Wow, melted M&Ms for some kind of, I don't know what they're trying to do. Here. All right. You might want to put those in the freezer first. Here's the EVGA 850BQ. Got the nice manual, modular cables, and the power supply and the built-in cables. Some foam, power cord, and Velcro ties, and an adapter if needed. There she is. So here I have a NVMe drive in a adapter over to USB 3.1, and I used the media creation tool directly from Microsoft on creating this media, and I'm going to see if I can boot off of it and install the OS onto a Gen4 NVMe SSD. I'll enter that later. It's a 10 Pro. All right, ready, set, go. I'm not speeding this up at all. So this is real time for the installation. Turn off all the Cortana stuff, since that's not really needed, and it does consume system resources by having these enabled. Check out all those cores. That is insane. So now I need to get this connected online and download all the drivers and get the system all up to date. So what are you doing with this?
VR.
Turn your head up so you can see. Is your nose right?
Yeah. VR.
It's going to take a Ryzen 9 box and turn it into a VR headset. That'll be interesting. Remember to always put the processor sticker on the outside of the case because it increases it by at least 5 virtual horsepower. And now you know. And again, we got another sticker that came with this memory, so by putting this on the case afterwards, you can increase your computer by 5 virtual horsepower. So let's not forget.